Hey, my friends, it's your friend Kevin. As promised, I'm giving you navigation for the week ahead using the moon phases, cycles, energy, along with the tarot. Now, I am using the Ciro Marchetti Mystic Palette deck, which I happen to think has just such lovely images on it. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And you'll see as I pull the cards for this week what I mean. Enough waffling. Let's get right to it. Here we go. So, real quick, we're a week away from the new moon, and the new moon next week, the 18th, will be in Capricorn. The energy of this last quarter moon, however, can be a bit spiky. So this week, you might come up against some really awkwardness, some challenges. Energies, emotions are intense, and that's putting it mildly. Stay clear of anyone who has habitually hurt you, said things, behaved in a way that's just unkind. You may also find yourself feeling a little irritated, feeling a little upset, peed off, if you will. And you might want to lash out. This is a word of warning. No. Your best options would be calm down. Keep things together. Because you'll be working with the ego and the devil, and nobody wants to mess around with that. There's nothing more than the ego or the devil in all of us wants is to stir the pot and have a big old party, which ends up adding more frustration, more drama, and let's face it, we don't need any more drama. So this is Sunday's card. I explained a little bit this morning about what the Knight of Pentacles or Knight of Coins represents, but here we go. We're in Angel Numerology number 4 day about faith. I went into that in depth in my Divine Daily Blast this morning. The Knight of Pentacles is with us. The moon is in Scorpio. And Venus and Chiron are clashing, which is bringing this intense emotional truth to light. Now, the question is, are you allowing anyone to hurt you? Are you purposefully letting them do that? So, what does the Knight of Coins do in situations like this? Well, he pretty much reacts by getting to work. He's determined. This card shows that he's determined to welcome tedious and unexciting labor. It gets him closer to his goal, and in his mind, any situational problem, he can solve it by patient effort. The well-worn coin in this image is proof that he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. This knight is not the one to go to if you're looking for a leap of faith, or you're looking for a flash of inspiration. No, don't pick on him. Imagination isn't his strong suit. His thoughts and his feelings are all about the physical world. He's all about the task at hand. He's all about dotting I's, crossing T's, getting the job done. In other words, do not bother the Knight of Pentacles. He's got way too much going on. Moving on to Monday. It's an Angel Numerology number 5, Adventure and Change. And we have the Strength card. Let me put that down there. You're getting a glare from the spotlight. The Strength card. Now, the moon is traveling through the sign of Scorpio, and it's a time to be introspective. Work through any past problems that you've got. Lead from your heart space. Be prepared to set boundaries, stand your ground, and don't be a victim. The Strength card in this image sees the lady basically hypnotizing the tiger. And the tiger in this particular card in this deck represents instinct, selfishness, revenge. They just go after things with vengeance. However, this woman is basically calming the storm. So this is really about outward instinct and inward resolve, inward peace. Let's see, inner strength. This is a symbolic connection between the basal instinct that we have in our heart and the ability to overcome stupidity. When we act out, when we show that vengeance, that selfishness, that carnal, lusting kind of, I want it and I don't care who I hurt to get it, we have to have that inner strength and resolve to pull it up, to calm down. This is all on Monday. Moving on to Tuesday. On Tuesday, we've got another coin card, and this one is the Queen of Coins. Now on Tuesday, it's an angel numerology number 6. That's about revision and revitalization. The moon is still in Scorpio for most of the day, and it moves into Sagittarius towards the end of the day. But then there's this clash between Mars and Chiron. So there could be a sting in the tail for the most part. And the Queen of Pentacles does her duty by kind of getting on with things. She doesn't necessarily... she can disappear into her own feelings. She can disappear into her own mind. She sort of kind of like makes sure everybody's happy and everybody is content. But when we get to the point where someone's being a bit fussy or someone's being a little bit overwrought and getting into that muck and mire, she can disappear into her own world, if that makes sense. She's resourceful, and above all, she acts out of appreciation. So everything the Queen of Pentacles is about is appreciating goodness, appreciating blessings, appreciating love, all of those things. And she comes up on Tuesday. Let's see, yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, yeah. On Wednesday, let's have a look. Wednesday, we've got the Four of Cups. Now on Wednesday, this is about focus. Cheerful Sagittarius moon suggests we open our minds and our hearts to the notion that our life can be truly amazing. In other words, think big, but avoid being boastful. Boastfulness or overly extravagant, that kind of thing, that can be seen as being vulgar. So I'd say avoid vulgarity. That's probably what I'm looking to do. That's what I'm looking to suggest that you do on Wednesday. Let's see what our, it's the Four of Cups. So here we have this woman, and she's sort of almost like she's beside this pond or this pool under a tree, and here's this swan coming by. It's like the sign of Cancer. The woman catches a glass and a goblet and moving towards her, skimming the surface of the water. So this card represents a moment of balance. Opportunity. If an opportunity is appearing, if you've got an opportunity come along, you've got to ask yourself if you like your life. Do you like your life the way it is, or will you accept an offer of potential for change? Now, in this particular card, we've got the moon in Cancer. Having attained a secure and comfortable environment, you may feel moved to look for greener pastures. That is the card's energy. And think about moving it with the moon's energy, which is in Sagittarius. That fun, giggly, upbeat, minds and hearts, the notion that life can be truly amazing. So I'd say on Wednesday it's very dreamy. It's really quite dreamy. So we've got the Queen of Appreciation on Tuesday, the dreamy world on Wednesday. Let's see what Thursday brings to us. On Thursday, we've got the King of Cups, the King of Water. Now, where are we with the moon? The moon is in Sagittarius, and it's probably a wonderful day because there's the luxury of Venus, which is connecting with Saturn, but also there's freedom with Uranus. It's also a number 8 angel numerology day, which is all about success. Think big. No, not think. This is Thursday. So let's see. Let others out there, if you're around people and you know someone's struggling, let them know that you care, that you're thinking about them, that you're being considerate and compassionate, but then also give them their space. That's what the moon is suggesting. The King of Cups typically is seen as the one who manages these emotional storms. People tend to seek him out for advice, compassion, because he's one of that calming strength. However, the King of Cups, or the King of Water, does have a tendency to be ruthless when he needs to be, particularly if he comes across people that are like false prophets, or someone that is kind of whiny or whingy, or someone that's sort of like, isn't really willing to do the work but wants to lean in and take advantage. This one can be quite ruthless when it comes to people who are manipulative. So that's kind of a little bit of a heads up. If you're coming across somebody who's wanting to manipulate a situation, you know what to do. Use the King of Cups to set that straight. That comes up on Thursday. What's coming up on Friday is, the Page of Wands. Now, Friday's energy is a number 9. Lift off, declare what you're up to. Let's go. Don't hold back. You can do my daily divine daily blast if you want to get deep into the numbers. But we have the Page of Wands and the Moon in Capricorn. Bring intention, because Mercury is clashing with Chiron. Now, on Friday, it's the end of the Dramedy days and a time to breathe. Stay honest, because the Page of Wands sets things in motion without hesitating. She moves through life creating sparks flying as she goes, which is a great thing if you want to set projects and ideas ablaze with energy, but it's not so good if you're in conflicts, because it can smack a punch for people who are conflicted. She is holding in her hands a baby dragon. Well, as we know, baby dragons turn in to be huge. And these baby dragons can be harmless in the beginning, but eventually they can change the world. So look at the page on Friday as a messenger of information regarding enterprises, projects, and anything that's getting ready to kick off and launch. This is what's going on Friday. Moving on to the end of the week and Saturday. Ooh, hello. Now, incidentally, Saturday is our dark moon, my loves. And here we have the Three of Cups. This is a gorgeous card. Now, it's a 10-1 Angel Numerology Day. All about divine big wishes. All about dreaming. It's both, the World and the Fool card at the same time. Here we have the Three of Cups. It's the final day of the last moon cycle, which is in Capricorn, probably getting close to the dark moon. I would say the dark moon is later part of the day. Good things can happen under this dark moon, and really, really quickly. There's a connection between Venus and Neptune, giving a nod to romance and a boost. Now, the Three of Cups, or the Three of Water, depending on what deck you've got, is your confirmation of all this energy. It's seen by many people as the party-hearty card of tarot. These images here show Mercury in the sign of Cancer. You got it? Mercury being the planet of communication, Cancer being the planet of feelings. So you're communicating your feelings of well-being and how rooted you are and how grounded you are. Communicating this to others brings with it that like-minded energy, camaraderie, celebration, all of this. For the most part, this is a card of excited energy and emotions. However, a word of caution. Overindulgence in all of this can lead to treacherous results. So mind how you go. Be careful of your libations. There's something hedonistic about the energy of the dark moon with this kind of mysterious card. So all I have to say about that, my friends, is you've been warned. In closing, I'm going to say that we have a lot of really good, solid energy from the non-physical realm through the journey of this tarot and the cycles of the moon and the planets. I hope you're getting that. However, what I'll say, if I had to give it a big title, and I'm looking at all this, look at things in the present focus. In other words, imagine your life through a kaleidoscope. You may, or even a radio station, you may have to turn the dial a little bit to make sure you're coming from a place of truth and honesty. You're coming from a place of love and compassion, but you're not overstepping your boundaries as you put boundaries down to keep the treacherousness of others out. And that includes news cycle. We are going through the wash cycle. You know, when you put your grubby clothes in the washing machine and you go put the cycle on, it starts to do its churning. That's what we're in right now. We're all in that. Some of us may feel like we're on the spin cycle. And if this keeps on spinning and we're turning it all up, then we've got to rinse it all out. Do you see what I'm saying? There's trouble, there's drama. Towards the end of the week, though, moving on into the new moon, we're sort of coming to that calm phase. What tends to happen right after this mad, crazy carrying on is a feeling of lull, taking a deep breath, which is good. But then we want to just relax and party. Enough of this. We want to. That's where the devil and the ego kicks in. And that can create that treacherousness. That can create a time of being a little too much. Let's not party too. Let's not go on that carousel ride too many times, because we can spin around so much so we get dizzy. So keep your wits about you as you move forward. All right, my friends, until tomorrow, when we do our Divine Daily Blast on to the Monday, I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this, particularly this Zero Marchetti deck. It's a new deck for me, relatively, and I love it. I love the images. I love the information I'm getting from it, and I love the simplisticness of it. All right, my friends, I love you. Thanks so much for liking, subscribing, supporting the channel. Bye for now.